All right. All right, everybody. I think we're back. That was kind of an adventure for me. I never went through that before. If you guys are back and you see me, let me know. I got so much going on here. I'm trying to make it all work. My computer is like seriously taxed beyond all recognition. But we're okay with that, I suppose. We'll make it work. Open up the YouTubes, because that's what I like to do, y'all. Um, Wait for everybody to come back. We're gonna have Badwick come on with Abby again. I was just chopping it up with both Badwick and Abby, and we lost connection like my typical self would do. I'm just a loser and I can't keep the internet on in my house. It's a sad, sad thing, y'all. It's a sad, sad day. But I think we're back now. I'm gonna have Abby call this all up here, and I think we're good to go. Boom. I think we're good. Are we good?
Lie to you, she lied to me. Oh shit, are we on stream?
Yeah, we're on stream.
It's all good if we are.
We're on stream as of now.
I just have a lot of background noise, unfortunately.
No, are we good? Can you all hear me?
Yeah. Are you good?
I can hear you.
I think we're good.
So long story short, she said she was going to talk about me just to go on stream and talk about me, and I don't like liars. So that was the long story short of that.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
All right.
All right. So
I just don't like liars. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't like liars either. So did you explain the whole story to him?
And then I just told Keem to keep on keeming on. Oh yeah. I did. I explained. Okay. So pretty much like they just like cornered him, and like it was very gross. It was very mean girl like.
Very.
I'm not explaining it.
Was it just
like,
solely because like? What was it solely just because Dave, you were like a Salvo fan?
It wasn't even out that I was a Salvo. I mean, it was kind of out. I had released one pro Salvo video. Basically, they just didn't like the fact that they had. How can I explain this? They didn't like what I was saying. They didn't that.
Yeah, you were asking for Salvo to come back, weren't you, or something like that?
I made a video talking about the whole Babs Edwin situation, but I think the now recording guys picked up on me before Xylee, and then they were like talking about my videos, and then they couldn't believe that the one thing that really pissed them off was it was Salvo. I guess you're right. I guess they didn't like that.
It was.
Because I was like, Salvo there has talent.
While for, yeah.
But then they essentially
like if you were, sorry.
Oh, God. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying there was like for a long time in the community, like if you did anything pro Salvo or like Salvo,
oh yeah,
aspects of the community would basically like dissociate from you entirely.
And that's why I was like incredibly grateful when I wasn't like I was dealing with a lot of personal shit when all that came out, because I was just like, when all of it kept going, I'm just like, I don't even fucking know. I don't even know.
Did Keem fly you out for that, Abby?
No, I paid.
So you paid for that?
Yep.
And then your hotel that night, who paid for that?
He paid for that, but it was like a last minute thing. I was supposed to stay with them.
Yeah, but then everything happened, and then yeah.
No, there was nothing like wrong. Like that was like the thing is like.
Well, like didn't you go there with the? Didn't you go there with the idea that you were spending the night there?
Yeah.
And then that changed.
Right.
But at least he put you up in a hotel, so that's pretty sweet. But he didn't want to put you up in a hotel, right?
Well, he did. And then I had a flight at like 10 a.m. So like, you know, quote unquote drunk me was like having to get myself on a flight in the morning, which was, you know, it was just emotionally draining, the whole thing, because like, well, just overall draining, because I hadn't done anything very social like that in a very long time, especially in front of however many people were watching and have still seen it.
So let me ask, you get home from all this. You get home, you sit in your bedroom, you sit down.
It took me 2 days to recover.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what is the first thought that went through your mind? Like, how did that just happen?
Slept.
And like, so it didn't even occur to you, like, the whirlwind you were just in at all? Like you
Mm-mm.
literally just got thrown in a YouTube
No,
blender
actually-
and just spit out of it.
Well, and that was like the rough thing with the Deaf Noodle shit as well. Was like, that's why like when I'm saying I got thrown into this shit, like if you want to ask me to do something, because like Keemstar asked me to go. He begged me and Jessica Pizzle for like hours to like get out here. I'm like,
That's
okay.
amazing to me. Like it's crazy to me
So-
that you're in you and Keemstar exchange DMs. That's nuts to me.
Yeah, and
And
I have Brantley's phone number. I think it's crazy to me too. It's wild.
Right? Like I was saying, like if that happened to me when it would all be said and done, I'd go home and I would just be like, "What? How the fuck did that just happen?" Like,
Oh no, yeah, no. 2022, 2023 was like wild as fuck. Like,
and like you're still
was
hearing
very
about
much
it
a
to this
whirlwind.
day.
yeah.
Like I still, in my opinion, that's the best
whole,
episode.
Like, because one thing I keep getting held over me with her, you know, from Hashish mainly, who I don't really care. I think he's funny, but he's like, you ate all her pasta, bro. I felt so bad for eating their food. I was like apologizing the whole time I'm eating, but I'm like, I hadn't eaten in like hours and like shit like that. Where I'm just like, I was so respectful and nice and kind when I was there, like, because I don't like overstepping and.
Well, I think that showed
way
because
more advantage of.
he doesn't have one bad thing to say about you.
That fucking bar.
You ate all their pasta?
No, he does.
He does?
Well,
I haven't
like,
heard him
you
say
know when,
anything.
Like, you remember when you go? Oh, he has. When you go to the deli and then you get like one of those things that are like a pound or whatever, like you know, like they're like a soup size of like
totally.
yeah. And I was like, it was like, you know, drink eating, which like I was like 5 or 6 drinks down, and I'm just like scarfing down this pasta because I hadn't slept really before I flew. And it was like 12, 14 hours of flying. Okay, like between you know the layover and everything.
Okay.
And then you know just matching with Keemstar's energy with Salvo's energy, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Good.
That's the most tragic part of how everything kind of ended up unfolding. Was like I had a good time, like it was really fun.
And then once you
like,
slept for your 2 days, once you slept for the 2
yeah.
days and woke up, and then like what when you started reading the Twitter and reading everything, what was your thought process? Like, did you think it went well with the reviews, or were you shocked with how the viewers received you, or were you like, that sounds about right? That's how
It took me a long time to. So I don't remember. I remember watching Clear as Mud, like following after that, and Banana was like, "Yeah, that was great." Like, I don't know if it was a troll or whatever, but like that was great because I was like, I've been Clear as Mud's like viewer for like last year. You know, I really, really love them, and Banana's awesome. Pete Paw is awesome.
yeah, they do a good show.
And yeah, and so like hearing Banana say that was like like meant so much to me because if you know Banana's a hard ass, bro. Banana doesn't laugh at anything unless
That's
it's
a crazy
just like
name.
insane degradation or like retardation or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it has to be something that like is worth laughing at. That like the commentary bros aren't just talking about like you know like he's like the pedo shit is dumb. I don't want to talk about it. Like he's the opposite. You know, so that and then. I ended up talking to Joey Westside, and Joey was like, "You are amazing."
Who is Joey Westside? I've been hearing so much about this guy.
I hear about him all the time too, Abby,
He's a
especially
really good
from like.
friend. He's a really good friend, and he's like essentially on the Tommy C news team, but like
so he's in the Tommy C camp.
Yeah, and for me, like Tommy C is like an Augie like stamp of approval. So like if like you know when Augie was like, I love this woman when I was on stage at Deaf Noodles, that's like when I was so scared to watch what Tommy thought about me being on the Keemstar show because I don't like rejection and being, you know, I can handle people being mean, but like Tommy C being mean to me just was scary. And
all right then, Mama, I'll take care.
Mama just took off. You need to watch this. You need to watch this. Bye, the Mama. And so I did, and that was kind of like the first time where I was like, okay, this isn't so bad. I'm like, I'm okay. Everybody liked it. Okay, we're good.
I totally actually, Abby, on that like critique though, I totally understand that. There are like some people in the community where you like could care less if they critique you, but there's also like that one person that like if they critique you, it can actually like just shatter everything. You're just
like,
I'm right with you on that, Badwick.
I cried when
I'm right with you on that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I cried when I watched like Augie's reaction and Chris's reaction, and I think it was Edwin's reaction too when I was on the Duff Noodles thing, like because it was like so positive, you know, like. But that was like the thing. That was even then. I'm being thankful and grateful to the people that I watch and I enjoy. Like at the time, you know, Xylee was one of the people I gave a shout out with, ironically enough, because I was just like, again, it was hot. It was the only people I could think of. But I was like, of course, Augie, because Augie is like my go-to, obviously, when it was more after
I'm a
hours.
fan. I like Augie.
Yeah.
Very talented
And then
young man.
Tommy C being as nice as he was, you know, and I agree with him. Like, you want a bitch that's like me, but looks like Brantley, which is fair.
I'm not gonna lie, Augie.
You know.
Augie gives off this vibe of like a homeschooled child whose parents are real religious.
It's so true.
He is.
Like,
yeah, that's literally the definition of him.
am I serious? Are you for real? Like, that's really what he is?
No, I'm dead ass. No, he's Catholic and he was homeschooled.
Dude, I pegged that one.
Nailed it, Dave.
Nailed it. Wow, because like he does that his second channel with his buddy or whatever, and it always looks like this guy is sitting on the dining room chair in his bedroom, and I'm like, you know, I feel like he's like, yeah, man, grab that chair and come on up to my room and we'll make some videos. You know, it gives off that kind of vibe. Oh, they are roommates. Okay, cool. All I know is the content is
him
good.
And what's his name?
Yeah, I forget his name too.
Connor.
Tommy hates him. Yeah, Connor.
He doesn't like me because I told him he flies out pussy.
Leave it to Abby. Like, Abby she'll just, man, Abby goes for it always, and you got to respect that for real.
Bro,
so Abby, we were going to talk about.
Oh, God. You know what he said as like a own? He was like, yeah. Hold on, let me do my nerd voice. Yeah, Augie, did you see what Abby posted on her Twitter? And you know what the two things he sent him was one where it was a picture of Chris Nark where I'm like, why do I still want his hands around my neck? And the other one was a flyover of Las Vegas being like, name a better view. And my quote tweet said my ass from behind. And he was trying to get like an own on me as if that was
wow,
weird. I'm like, okay, buddy. And then that's when I was like,
buddy.
at least I don't have to like ship out pussy. And then I was banned from Twitch chat for the night. And then you know what how I got unbanned?
How?
On the request I just said gay. And I won.
Are you serious?
That's what got you unbanned.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
You gotta know your audience, bro. That's one thing I learned from last podcast on the left is they're like, you gotta know your audience, man. You can't talk to you can't talk to Oregon the same way. You can't talk to Oregon the same way you talk to New York. Well, maybe in New York. You can't talk to Oregon the same way you talk to fucking Pennsylvania, bro. Like, this is not how that works.
Wait, is it actually that like different in like the states? Because like obviously I'm not American, but like is it really?
You're not
like,
American,
state
Badwick?
by
It's
state,
different
like,
from
differences?
like it's different from like Alberta to like Toronto.
Oh, Badwick's you're Canadian,
like,
Badwick?
realistically. Yeah, I'm Canadian.
Oh, okay.
I'm
What
very
province are you
Canadian.
from?
My wife is a communist. There's a
Now
lot
you're
on
gonna
it.
hear that. Now you're gonna hear the A every time he says it.
Are you
I don't
close to
say
like
A
Winnipeg?
that much. Me? No, I'm Northern Ontario.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I
We'll
don't
say
live in
it this
Hydra. I live
time.
in Thunder Bay, but I'm like a Southerner originally from.
About your whole ordeal with Tipster. So you
yeah.
involved. You get involved in the commentary community. When do you meet Tipster, and where did that go bad?
So, I mean, who doesn't meet Tipster? But I just recently talked about this actually. But
Well, damn! Look at me trying to get some recycled content out of you.
no. It's because I just re-released Twitter Space that happened after our first, like, and only really personal beef. That was before I was like Twitter famous or whatever the fuck I am. And so let me just say so I was like obviously cool with everybody now recording for a little bit, and then that kind of fell out. Well, I guess STFP, which is now recording more so. And then I had, you know, that falling out. And so like I'm very much so like I just kind of felt like I was just thrown away, even though those people were like my friends, that kind of emotional feeling, which
Yeah.
you know, it's internet people, blah, 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 whatever.
No, but those feelings are valid. Like, those feelings are valid.
I personally like having bonds with people. Like if Badwick fucking like was like, fuck you, Abby, whatever, and then had like no explanation, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean?
Abby.
I'm digging Badwick. Badwick knows. I could tell that Badwick, you have no past in talk radio or anything. Like you,
Sorry?
Do you have a past in talk radio or any kind of like podcasting or anything?
I've like my whole origins on that is like I've been on YouTube for a while, but it was mostly just like a friend, like buddy let's play channel for like almost like 4 years.
He still
like,
even has a blue
like,
Yeti, bro.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
well, like I said, I do it as a hobby. But I was on like a university campus, like radio show, Carleton University, and it was focused mostly on like politics and economics.
Stuff.
Sorry.
Like like timing, when to interject yourself and when not to, and like that's very awesome, man. Like I'm like Badwick knows the deal.
Too much credit.
No, bro, but for real, at least on this call, like I've been noticing, like he knows right when it's there's a lull in the conversation. He pops right in there, right what to do. So I mean, Demented knew what he was doing by having you do some co-hosting work on his show, like for sure.
I honestly just think me and Demented even each other out. Sometimes I can be, like
that's true.
Not the most intelligent. I think sometimes Demented flies off sometimes, and I think
I've been noticing
a good job
that.
At like, yo, settle down, bro.
Yeah.
Or and that's the thing. Like Demented and I don't agree on every point, so it does add like a little bit more chemistry as well. Sure. Sometimes I'll be like,
though.
It should, because why would you want an echo chamber? I am against echo chambers. I posted in your chat.
So is Eileen.
But like I did post on the chat, like commentary dogpiling is a real thing. It really is. It happens all the time, and a lot of people do it without actually knowing they do it.
True.
So like, is it right? No, it's not right at all. It's wrong, and like I think people can go their way to try to prevent it, but it absolutely happens. Most people would be a hypocrite to say that they didn't jump on a bandwagon. You know what I mean?
Like Abby just said right now, she felt left out. She felt like she was thrown out. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of akin to being dogpiled.
Oh, bro, I've gotten so much shit for fucking shitting on Xylee for the longest fucking time. I got shit for shitting on who else did I shit on first? I don't even know.
When did you start shitting on Tippy?
To go back to that.
Yeah, I was trying to crouch. I was trying to bring it back around.
That was good. That was good. That was great. That was a good wraparound. So that was like, okay, so everybody knows tipster lore. If you want to know anything about anti-tipster lore, go to Alex Gekmo on Twitter. He has like been A-logging tipsters downfall for like way too long.
Wow.
And so Alex
Gecko got me canceled by Hugh John.
Whatever. Who cares? I love Alex Gekmo. Alexandra in the fucking woman server is one of my favorite Alex Gekmo arcs of all time, but we can get to that later.
See, this is why Abby's awesome. She knows everybody.
And so
it's true.
It's true. Well, I'm mostly unless you're just a cunt. But aside from that, tipster essentially like I essentially kind of felt like thrown away from my old friend group essentially. And then the Salvo shit happened over at Def Noodles, and I was kind of like the same kind of use that like Keemstar did, that like he pulled me in, used me for what he needed for the information or whatever, and then just was like whatever at the end of the day. Which Keemstar didn't necessarily do that. Keemstar kept asking me to come on this show, but I also wasn't a fucking monkey, and I'm not gonna do just what you want me to do when you want me to do it.
Yeah, I think Keem wanted like a whack packer. He wanted to build up characters for. He even tried doing that with Salvo's pee-pee girl, the one that was involved in all the allegations or whatever. I felt like Keem was trying to snake her away from Salvo too, kind of. So that sucks that they just farm you for content.
I love her too.
She's pretty funny. Yeah, she's pretty entertaining.
I haven't heard much from her. She's referred to as the PP girl.
She's PP like PP like not the girl that did the drink the. Thing.
No, not her. I'm talking about the girl PP.
I like both talking about the girl who drank her pee. I was like, what a name to have stick. PP girl.
I know, horrible. Because there is PP, and then because I like PP too. I like PP. I really like the other girl. Oh my god, her name starts with an A. That's driving me nuts. Anyways, I guess I shouldn't name her anyways, just to give her a fucking what is the fucking anonymity to a degree, But because that shit was fucked up. But that's okay, whatever.
We're like on so many different stories. We got
I know. There's so much. It's been a lot. But Tipster, okay, so Tipster did a Twitter space one night, and essentially was with Tomato Man, and I end up insulting Tomato Man, saying that his face looks like a burnt pepperoni pizza, and then Tomato Man goes off and spurts off at me, which is hilarious. And then me and Tippy, I'm like, Tippy, are you cool? And he just ends the space because he doesn't like conflict. I don't know if anybody's noticed that.
Oh, I've noticed.
And so so I add him to like my Discord and to like to be friends with me on Discord or whatever. And then eventually, I think the next night, if I'm not mistaken, I went into his live stream and he was doing like a gaming stream, and then he mods me. Now, first time I'd ever been modded, okay? Because mind you, I've just started commentary like summer of 2022, like actually in commentary.
Was
like,
that pre or post Creep Show?
Post.
Okay. All right.
Because pre-Creep Show was January 2022 or New Year's Eve of 2021 was the Creep Show, the last Creep Show art video. The like way too long one.
Yeah.
And so, because I remember that. And then so that was like, so that next summer, because I was I still in Vegas when that came out? I had to have been, I'm pretty sure. But maybe not. Anyways, doesn't matter. And still, so anyways, I get modded in this chat, right? So now we're fast forwarding to like October of 2022. So last fall. And I'm being modded for the first time in chat, right? I don't know like rules, conditions. I don't know how to fucking behave because I'm just me, if you haven't noticed. And so I have people that are like, oh, Abby, like this, like Abby Fat Bird, or, call me one of their million fucking insulting names that they like to do. And I saw, because it was actually Liana, ironically enough. And I said something back to her, which was just like, hey, it's not even important. But then I say it 5 times in chat, just 5 times, because I'm a numbers person.
Just
I'll
5
do
times.
something 3 times in a row or 5 times in a row. And I'll just like post it in synchron, whatever. And another one of his mods, who I won't really name because it's, again, not important, comes to me and says, hey, Abby, don't do that. And I'm like, is this woman really trying to tell me what the fuck to do right now? And if you know me, a woman telling me what to do is just not the move, bro. And I was
that's not going to fly.
Like, no. I was like, don't fucking tell me what to do. You're not the fucking, like my rules, if you're not my dad or my daddy, you ain't fucking telling me what to do, okay? And even then, I don't really listen to my father. So
and that's fair.
So I was with that, and so he goes and he messages, because we were on. Oh, we had DMs too. We were friends on Snapchat, and then we were friends, and whatever. And so on Snapchat, because again, I know you know that, like, I don't really like typing, and so like I'll do voice memos, and I
love your voice memos, by the way.
I was just so. He ends up like being like, hey, do you mind not doing that next time? And for me, I'm like, well, they're bullying me in your chat, and I'm not gonna not fucking say something. You know what I mean? And so he's like, fine, I'll just take your mod away. And I'm like, bruh.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm just like, I'm pissed. And so I was doing a lot at the time, and, I've kind of grown out of, where I just like, I guess burging is the word for it, but I flip the fuck out. And I'm just like, fuck you, you just throwing me away like every fucking, everybody fucking else, even though, like, in the text, he's like, oh, there's not a hierarchy. I treat everybody like everybody else, blah, 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 blah. But so, yeah,
admittedly, you admit now that you were still upset about the other people in your past that have thrown you out. So it kind of was all it was all compounded. And would you say
especially because he was like, I'm not going to treat you like any less, blah 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 blah. And like, because I was like, I don't want to do the parasocial thing. Like, I'm trying to be like, what is the level that, like, I'm very odd, like, actually, like, it's trauma brain, but autistic about like, okay, where are we at on the friends level? Are we friendly? Are you just like, are you a creator and I'm just a fucking viewer, which everybody puts me down to? Or, like, trying to fucking get the scale of things. And he's like, no, I see everybody as people. You're not just a viewer. Like, I don't do that shit. I don't put myself up on a pedestal, which is bullshit.
Yeah, he kind of does. So, at least it seems that way.
Oh yeah. And so, and I was always like, my meme was like, I'm too lazy to be a goth mommy, because I'll never be goth. I'm hella emo. It is what it is. Okay. And so, yeah, so that was kind of my thing. And then obviously I was pissed about that. I'm like crying because I'm just like, I don't fucking understand what the fuck's happening. I'm going through this shit again. me losing people, friends, whatever, especially in like, which as you've even seen in a short amount of time, when I go through friends like that, it's really exhausting because I give 100% to people. And when there's no like civil come down to a center place and discuss it, or you just react and then try to make me look like a piece of shit, especially when you have an audience so big. Like,
That's what makes everything harder, is there's audiences involved.
And he has like 100K audience or whatever. I don't know what he holds up in his streams, but that's neither here or there.
Well, if he keeps like doing sporadic vlogs or sporadic streams and stuff, he's not going to have an audience for much longer. I mean, his schedule is so chaotic right now; it's nuts.
Yeah, it's very manic, but that's again not my
it's a whole nother thing.
But so I say that, and then I do a Twitter space, and this is like right when Twitter spaces like started, popping off the way they were, and I was doing one, and I'm just kind of sharing my emotions on it and being like, yeah, like. And even like last night with the tipster stuff and and I see a couple of them in chat and I'm like, okay, like here we go. And then all of a sudden I see him pop up in chat and he's like, well, yeah, like you were And it pretty much came down to, which I already knew what it was, but he's like, you know what I deal with. So I had to do what I had to do.
Oh, wow.
What? Like, so you just tossed away me. You tossed away my friendship, which whatever. It's not that personal, blah, blah, blah.
He big timed
for me again at the time. Yeah. And like, I'm like, he's like, well, yeah, I had to do what I had to do. And then like, and then Shadow Humor just on, Tipster, don't you have a treadmill to run on? Blah, blah, blah.
Leave it to fucking Shadow Humor.
I love Shadow Humor. Shadow Humor is like the funniest dude.
Me and Shadow Humor go back. He's the homie, but he kind of like, barked him off. And that was kind of that. And then, you've seen, and then, even before the Keemstar show, he was like, well, because I would say like, yeah, he gave me a Snapchat, whatever, because I'm not retarded. You're not retarded. We're all adults here. And not that any of that happened. I'm just saying you're giving random people your snap. You get it.
Yeah.
And so I had said something to Salvo in passing while I was at the Keemstar show, but before the Keemstar show, he was like drinking or whatever, Tipster was, and he was like, Abby, I think we just got off on the wrong foot. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, sure. Like the wrong foot, right? And he's like, you want to just like start over, like be cool? I'm like, sure, Tipster, that's fine. Like, I don't really care. I'm more like concerned with Matt because like our past shit. And me and Matt had, kind of glazed over shit, which I kind of held a grudge with that for way too long, but that's hindsight and we've already talked through that. But and then Tipster does it again. He did it again before that. He did it again after that. He's done it again since that. And that was like why my favorite meme with like the Keemstar show is like, my favorite part of the Keemstar show was getting the Dojangles follow and the Tipster block.
Yeah.
Because
it's a badge of honor now to have the Tipster block.
Well, I've had it so many times. And so Tipster literally was like, what did he say? He's like, well, you're talking shit about me behind my back. I'm like, I literally just told Salvo that you gave me your fucking Snapchat. Like, it's fucking weird. Like, and then all the shit you did, like, why is that talking shit? So you know who told him that I was talking shit about him? Because there was only 4 people in that room, and Lord knows Keemstar's not paying attention. You know what I mean? So it was just like, it was just that snaky, clicky shit like you're talking about. And it's just like, bro, grow the fuck up. Grow up. And he hasn't, and he won't.
So Badwick, you've heard about my story with Xylee. You have heard about Abby's story with Tipster. You've been involved in the commentary community for a little while now. Have you? Yeah. Do you have any stories of experiences with creators that kind of left a bad taste in your mouth?
Maybe one that starts with Mama, ends with Max. I want to know.
I do have the Mama Max the drama. That was actually, well, I have like 3 main dramas. I try to actually stay out of dramas specifically that like directly involve me, because my whole like premise of this is that this is all shit that happens on the internet. None of it is like serious at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Some people make it more serious than it should be. Agreed. So my drama with Mama Max was so when he did the whole like YouTube movement and all that, or like pick a side YouTube, I was critical of that movement. I was like, what's the purpose of this? Like, I called him out for making it like overly edgy to like, rather than actually say a message, he just made it edgy and angsty and all this shit. I can't remember what I actually said in my video. And then like, I kind of like agreed with Tommy C's point on the video. So following that, I did like a stupid commentary video where it was just like accusations came up about death or about Mama Max. So I just covered the accusations, literally like how Bo Blacks does. I just read the tweets out, brought up the names of the people that made the accusations, and that was it. And then this Craig Beckett guy came at me. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Came at me, was like, how dare you do this? These are all wrong, you spurg, everything like that. And then he followed up with like a video, and I'm like, dude, like, what's your issue with me? Like, I made one video talking about accusations. Like, they're just accusations. That they're not real, then they're not real. But he like forced me into multiple calls with Mama Max. He wanted me to apologize. And I'm like, well, Max, like, my whole thing about it is like, if you have the proof for it, then just show the proof. Like, I don't know why you're hiding about this. You do put yourself on this like internet stage, so people are like expected to see proof when you like people accuse you of shit. When you're that large, you do kind of have to come out and like defend yourself or clear your name. Unfortunately, it sounds bad, but like, if you don't, you'll lose your viewers and your subscribers at that point, because everyone will think you're fucked up. True. So anyways, after like a series of calls with Mama Max and Craig Beckett, we came to like a neutral understanding for all this. And this was like took over like a span of like a month and a half. Yeah. And then ever since that, every time Mama Max had a drama, he had this like group chat with like Nicholas Diorio, myself, Augie, Edwin, and there's like I think Doc on the radio was in it and a few other people, and he would just like not say anything, but then like just drop like documents of like his alibis or proof and all this shit. And then the last thing he ever dropped in that group chat was a fucking like rap album that he was like, before I were like show you guys the next thing, you have to sign like a non-disclosure act to like like see this. And we're just like, so we all thought it was like something like heavy and intense, but it was just
sign an NDA. Like, sign an NDA to listen to my rap music.
But it was just like, so no one talked about his rap music album, which like whatever, like I get it if you don't want people to spoil
Craig
shit.
Beckett or
no, Craig Beckett was gone at that point. But that was like my last, that was my last interaction with Max. Was like that like rap music thing. And then I had the Brit Bong.
His newest diss track was a thing.
I'll be honest to everyone. Like, I don't hate Mama Max. I think like he goes too over the top with shit. And like, I'm not a police officer. I'm not a fucking detective. So I'm not here to say if he did it or didn't do it or whatever. But like, people don't have to like you. People can have your suspicions about you without like you being a spurg about it. And like, it just happens when you put yourself on that stage.
Right.
So like, stop freaking the fuck out with people. Like, the more you freak the fuck out, the more people are going to think you're suspicious of it. So, I also have like the Brit Bong drama where I got into like a big like thing with Brit Bong. Yeah, I know, right? And that lasted for about like a month because I made a video about it's actually how I ended up on Kiwi Farms. How like there's a whole thread about me on Kiwi Farms.
Can somebody break it down?
It's better if you don't know, to be honest. But
it's basically an online board. Yeah, it is. It's back and reinstated. I don't use it, but every so often I go on to just make sure like there's not like fucking shit about me on there.
So it's like Reddit?
Why? Now there is.
Obviously,
now it's right now. You've already thrown it into the ether.
Well, there is. Like, I already have a whole thread on there because of Brit Bong. And that was the whole thing. I made a video to just like talking about Brit Bong because for a while I wanted to go on about like internet history and commentary lore and shit like that. So I tried to make videos related to that sort of stuff. And then I had like a bunch of random accounts follow me. And it was really like strange at the time because half of them were super against Brit Bong and half of them were like Brit Bong stans. And then Brit Bong ended up messaging me on Instagram about this whole fucking thing. And he like threatened to dox me and all this shit like that. I was like, whoa, man, like, I don't give a shit on who you are. Like, I really don't. I literally made a video about previous internet stuff.
Yeah, people take it too far sometimes.
They do. And luckily nothing over escalated with it. Like, I just like, look, man, like, I have no intention to like talk about you or like go after you or anything. So like, we kind of agreed to leave each other alone. And then the recent stuff with like the Hugh John stuff recently.
But how much of that is like, would you say show business beef, or would you say like you legit have hatred for the man?
Hugh John?
Yeah, for Hugh John.
Yeah. Oh, I don't hate Hugh John. So here's my thing. I get Hugh John's stick. I get he's really good at riling people up and pissing people off. A lot of people ask me why I didn't go on Demented's show. There's no point to. Hugh John made a comment about me, calling me a freak because I had Alex come onto my show who was 17. I have a pretty squeaky clean Discord. I'm comfortable with my Discord. You know what I mean? I don't have anything like adult material on there. I have a really good mod, all that. But I'm also not in like the business of like asking people for IDs and shit to join Discord. Like,
nor should
that's
you
not
have
why I
to,
had a Discord.
really.
Right? And I've always advertised myself as a talk show, and I still follow Twitch TOS.
Yes.
So he made a dig at me. It obviously got under my skin, as everyone's aware. I have kids and shit. So he's like, oh, look at Badwick, like hanging out with people's kids. I will agree with Hugh John on one point. I never said he called me a pedo.
Okay.
Other people did. Gotcha. I made only one tweet or two tweets about the whole situation and then moved on because it's this internet drama.
Isn't that crazy how two tweets can blow up to this?
But like, I also get like, there's a sense of like people want to defend their friends and stuff. And I'm not going to like remove that from it either. But it's also like, if I went on Demented's show with Hugh John, what would we do? Like, just like name call at each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's nothing like constructive about it. He said his comment. I obviously disagree with it. And that's kind of it. You know, like we don't have to like each other. I don't hope that he gets deplatformed or anything. I don't hope like he should keep doing his shit and I do my shit. You know what I mean? Like we can like, it's kind of a problem I have with this community is I think people should be able to exist in the same community without having to draw lines in the sand. You don't have to like everyone.
I agree.
You don't have to be friends with anyone. But at the same time, I don't think like blackballing people because of a disagreement is right either. Or
man,
like
Badwick,
someone shit post.
I wish more people looked at it like you do, man.
Well, like I said, like Hugh Jet, I don't expect an apology ever. I don't expect him to unblock me.
And if you do get an apology, it'll be so over the top and so, you know.
Like, he's not apologizing for shit. Bro, he'll never apologize for shit. Just like Salva will never apologize for shit. And that's fine.
Like, I don't expect it. Like, it's his opinion. He doesn't, like, Hugh John shouldn't, like, he stated on the show, he was like, I think Badwick's a freak because of a 17-year-old. I personally didn't do anything wrong.
Because you had a 17-year-old in your server, he thinks you're weird?
It was because of the cheese nips. It was because of the whole cheese nip situation where that Skelly guy posted the meme with the person from the like top half of the torso cut off, and the head was missing, and it was like 2 breasts with cheese slices on it. And my whole argument about this whole thing was that I don't think this is pornography. If you literally drew a fucking line from each cheese slice, it would be a bikini. Do I think it was dumb of Skelly to post shit like that? Absolutely. And like, I wasn't even like the one debating this. I was just like, here's a platform, I'll have you on, Skelly. And then Alex called in because the beef was between those two. But then that was when Hugh John fired off tweets.
Yeah. So it sounds like Hugh John was looking for some kind of, how I received this is Hugh John was probably looking for some kind of ammo on you, but you seem kind of like a squeaky clean kind of guy. So it seemed like he was like reaching for straws.
That's his stick though, as well. Like I get it, because like even like I'm not gonna lie, I threw jabs at Hugh John. Of course I did, especially on like Demented's like Sin Bin episode when we did the whole like Pizzagate chart. But at the same time, he was like, I reached out to him.
So fucking funny. Oh my god,
it was jabs. It was jabs, and I personally get it. When people make streams about you or content about you, you're gonna get pissy and you're gonna get defensive about it. Anyone would. There's hit pieces about me on the internet. Do you think I'm like, oh wow, somebody made a hit piece on me? Well, I'm like, fuck that guy, obviously. But like, like I get, because I got the block after the Pizzagate thing. So I was like, okay, you know what? It makes sense. We did a stream like kind of making fun of a situation. But also I did reach out to Hugh John about the dachshund thing. I'm like, hopefully like you're okay and your family's okay. I joke a lot on the internet, but like even after like some of the like heavier debates like last Sunday I had where like my wife won against all the Americans in my chat,
Oh,
I
God.
still reach out to people. I'm like, hopefully you don't take any of this seriously. Like, I don't ever, like, the platform I have, I don't want people to actually get upset in, like, IRL. You know what I mean? Because,
True.
like, I do this shit for fun.
Exactly.
I don't think people should leave upset. That's not, like, the goal of what I do. But with the Huge on stuff, like, his, like, oh, Badwick's a freak for hanging out with 17-year-olds. I'm like, I had one individual call into a show for, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he left. Everyone else in the show was, like, mature. They were adults. But again, I would lie if I said it didn't get under my skin. Huge
Of course.
Huge on. I'm not even saying his name wrong on purpose. I'm just fucking illiterate.
I was the same way when I first mentioned his name. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna call you Twitter geek.
Right?
And then that lasted a total of 3 minutes.
Yeah, like, it got under my skin, but that's a stick to get under people's skin.
Yep.
I understand that. And I agree with it. Like, I don't want him not to do what he does, but I don't think we have to be friends.
True.
And,
True.
like, at this point, like, I said in Demented's chat, I'm like, if he ever wanted to unblock me and hit me up in DMs or, like, whatever, and we want to have a chat about this, I'm fine. I would move on from it. I don't hate the dude. I found his fucking tweet annoying. And, like,
I like
it
what
pissed me
Lisa
off
just
at the
said in
moment.
chat. She said, Hugen is
Yeah.
the only person allowed to make jokes about anyone else. And I kind of think that is true to a degree.
That's so true.
You know,
But, like, at the end of the...
Go
Sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
At the end of the day, I'm like...
Fight. Sorry.
No, like, it just at the end of the day, like, it's done, it's over with. Like,
Yeah.
it's moved on. If Hugh John wanted to move on with it, or, like, I feel like we could exist in other people's shows together and VCs together. I don't have, like, I hate Hugh Jan thing, so...
It sounds
don't
like
know.
you have a level of professionalism.
I hate the blatant lying. That's just shit. And that's just me. That's just
That's like a double-edged sword, though, Abby, because, like...
I don't know. I don't
the same
talk shit. I
time-
don't talk out of my asshole. I talk.
I'm
when
not
I
saying-
talk.
So I called Slug out for this, though, the other day.
Yeah, I
where
know,
I'm like,
100%.
where I'm like, you guys want to go after Hugh Jan for lying, but, like, some people in the community do the exact same thing, but then they don't get
100%.
called out for it. So,
It
like,
goes
it's
back
just
to
like
that.
the whole-
I've called Slug the fuck out for it. I'm like, you need to stop because it goes back on other people. Like when you say shit about like let's just say you know the people he's dealt with for the last 2 years. I'm not even gonna name names.
Mhm.
But like when it has to do with one-on-one, that's fine. But now you're saying stuff that's one-on-one that's affecting the whole other narrative for many other people that are now receiving bullshit because you're making up shit about them. Therefore, they think that that's an excuse for them to go and make up bullshit about everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I will never think that that's okay. You'll never hear shit out of my ass. I have receipts for fucking days, okay? I know what
I'm
the
sure
fuck
you
I'm talking
do.
about.
I would love to
Oh, I
just
do.
take a stroll through your DMs. For real. I bet you that is some adventure right there. Talk about let's plays.
I'm not getting a restraining order for nothing, but yeah.
I'm not a big Philip DeFranco fan.
Oh, I am. I'm a huge
However,
fan.
I used to really be into him, and then ever since he had kids, he just got angry with his life, I found.
He sure did, didn't he?
But
You're a Philip DeFranco fan and a Salvo fan? How'd you end up doing that?
Man,
I
I
don't-
like H3
I
and
don't limit
Keemstar
myself.
too.
That's true.
Ethan, that's a little much. I'm not a big Ethan fan, but
He's grown
Philip
on me.
DeFranco says it perfectly.
Can we kick Milltown from the
Yeah,
call?
kick
That
Milltown
would
off
be
of his own
fine.
No, but Ethan has grown on
I just
me.
think Ethan's whiny.
He is.
That's-
And I'll
I
give
think-
him that, you know. It's just
I think if you have a hot take and you say something that people don't agree with, acknowledge that you made the fucking hot take and move on. No one's gonna always agree with you. Don't
He's a
fucking cry
YouTuber.
about
He's
it.
never going to admit he's wrong. Come on.
That's
I
not
think
true.
Abby
There
just
are people
summed it
who
up
have
right
hot
there.
takes that like can live with it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil DeFranco's quote, "Facts are not fucking feelings," is the best fucking like quote I love for like this online community
It's
because
true,
everyone
though.
wants to argue feelings.
True. Very true, guys.
It
And
is.
that's why I win. Because I
Man,
have.
I've
I
had
don't
a
have
good
soul.
time talking
I'm
with you
kidding.
two this morning. It's been awesome having you guys on.
Yeah, thanks Dave for having me on. I appreciate it. It was
No,
kind of
man.
a random
Yeah.
situation.
And that kind of it's
Oh,
kind of
man.
cool how it all just
Milltown
organically
using
came
us
together.
for content, bro. Fuck you,
Not at all.
Milltown.
This is just we're just hanging out on a Sunday morning. That's all we're doing.
Honestly,
just
that's
saying.
all I was doing. I
Yeah.
was having fucking coffee, and then I saw Milltown was streaming. I'm like, oh, I saw his video on Demented. I'm gonna check out his stream, and then here we are.
And hey,
you should see his short on Abby Blackbird. It's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh, I will. Absolutely.
Well, I think that's a good places anyways to end it though, guys, don't you? I mean, unless you guys got any last words for anybody.
I do, Dave. I have a question for you.
For sure.
Ooh.
Do you plan to be more active in like the other commentary communities now?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's just
Okay.
I don't know how to I'm always down to be a part of something. It's just nobody really reaches out. Abby
I'll
reaches
reach out
out.
to you.
I've been asking
Dave.
you to do a podcast with me for fucking months, okay?
That's what I said. Abby, you know. And now we're recording. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to reach out more.
That's awesome.
I just
Dave,
don't want it to
next,
be for the wrong
Sin Bin.
reasons.
That's fair. No, I get that. I absolutely do. Everyone has a name that they want to uphold and, keep to their lane. So
I don't
next
care.
Sin
Let's
Bin,
go.
Dave. Come
Hey,
on
I'm
to the
down.
next Sin Bin. If you want to come on to a drunk stream of mine tonight, you're more than welcome, man. Always.
Sounds good. I might
Let's
just take you up
go.
on that.
On Twitter or on Twitch. On Twitch. It's
I'm on Twitch, yeah.
twitch.tv/Badwick Productions because I plug everything. You're welcome.
Yeah, and that's what I
You're
love
very good
about
at
Abby.
sharing the wealth.
Man,
She
Abby
shares
is
the
a
wealth.
marketer extraordinaire.
Oh, I love plugging shit, bro.
Well, everybody, that's been Abby Blackbird, Badwick Productions. I mean, I don't think anything else could be said. I think this is the perfect place to leave it. And with all that, I wish both of you a beautiful Sunday. And I love you guys. And tell somebody else you love
Thank you
them.
for having me on, bro. I appreciate it.
sure.
Also, like his
Badwick.
channel and sub to it. Yeah.
Badwick,
Abby.
I have to sing the Sunday Fun Day song on your stream tonight. Don't let me forget.
Okay.
And it sounds like a plan. All right, guys. Peace.